Episode 7, Solo in Seattle. This is another one of the question and answer series. I actually received multiple questions in one text message, so I'm going to break them down by episode. So the first question is on monogamy. Is it worth it? Is it genuine? Is it attainable? Does it make people or couples happy? Well, let's take a deep dive in what monogamous is. Mono means one. One relationship, one partner, one spouse, one husband, one wife, one relationship, one defined situationship, one marriage. Is it worth it? Well, if you're asking this question, you also have to ask yourself and your partner, are you being honest with each other? Are you being honest with yourselves? And when I ask this, I mean, are you being honest about what you really want? Do you want monogamy? Is it worth it to you? Is your relationship genuine? Up to this point, has monogamy been attainable? Up to this point, have you been happy? So, if you are not in a place where you feel happy, then you may want to set some rules. And you may want to revisit those rules often. We're not mind readers. We certainly don't always remember. Life happens, and it's okay to repeat what you've said. It's okay to define the rules of your relationship and revisit them often. It's much needed. It's much necessary. For me, monogamy is definitely worth it. In my marriage, there was only one person outside of it, me and him. In my last relationship, just the two of us. And when both of those started to dwindle and we were headed towards divorce and we were headed towards our breakup, we had those hard conversations about, is it worth it? In my last relationship, we sat down, looked at each other face to face, and both agreed it was not worth it. We were not willing or able to continue to participate in our relationship together. We were not willing and able to attain happiness together. So we separated. We were very honest with each other about where we stood for a very long time. We were very honest with ourselves that we were not each other's person. And we also were very honest with each other about what we wanted, which has led to 9 months or however long it's been. I've lost count of no contact. Because when we decided to end our relationship, that was it. So, to revisit your question, you have to understand what your rules are in your relationship, where your honesty is in your relationship. Are you being honest with yourself? Are you being honest about what you want? Relationships, marriages take work. It's not something you just wake up and think about, am I happy? Where am I at? It takes communication. It takes revisiting conversations until you reach that point of clarity to where you feel that your answers are there. Because there's nothing worse than uncertainty. There's nothing worse than assumption. So you should ask yourself, if you want to stay in your relationship, if you want to stay in your marriage, do you want to continue being in a monogamous relationship? Also, who's asking? Are you asking for yourself? Or are you asking because you've been triggered by someone's actions? Are you asking because your partner introduced the idea of bringing someone into your relationship or your marriage? And if so, you should really set rules and revisit those rules. If you are deciding to enter into an open marriage, an open relationship, make sure that you think this through if you are wanting to be monogamous with only that person that you entered in the relationship with, that you committed your life to. If you and this other person have decided that you want to try something out, I would encourage you not to say no or yes right away. You also need to understand and decide what you need to know in this open relationship or marriage. And you need to understand if this is your idea of having fun. That's all I'm going to talk about on an open relationship or a marriage. I have not experienced an open relationship, nor have I experienced an open marriage. Not that there's anything wrong with that, just not something that I would be interested in participating in, and not shaming anyone for those choices. Go off. Have fun. Whatever that looks like for you. I teach a series, also, 7 Principles of Making Marriage Work. And in that, we really talk about some key points that I think would be helpful. And it's called the 7-7-7 rule. Every 7 days, you go on a date. Every 7 weeks, you go away for the night. And every 7 months, the two of you head off on a romantic holiday. It's not a lot. All you have to do is have communication. plan. Enter in your relationship instead of exit out of it. It's very easy to do, especially when there's work, there's bills, there's time commitments, there's children, there's hobbies, there's activities, and you have morphed into those lives of you do this, he or she does that. And it's very easy to fall into the separate life routine. It is also very easy to allow someone else to sneak in there and grab the attention of you or of your partner or spouse. Communication is key. Every 7 days, I encourage you and your partner or your husband to go on a date. Every 7 weeks, you and your husband, wife, or spouse should go away for the night. And every 7 months, the two of you should head off on a romantic holiday. This will minimize conflict. But you have to have conflict resolution in place. You have to be able to know how to fight and fight fair. What is the culture or the climate of your current relationship or marriage? Where are the two of you at? Do you talk daily? Do you actually check in and consider one another? Do you say please or thank you? I know it's very arbitrary, and it actually used to get on my fucking nerves with my last relationship when I would do something, or he would do something, and he would stand there and expect for me to say thank you, as if he was doing me a favor. And I hated that. I hated it. But I find myself appreciating others in my current climates that I interact with others. And I always say please, and I always say thank you, and I'm always so grateful. So think about that. Think about bringing it back to the basics, that appreciation, that culture of your relationship, of your marriage. Where is your level of commitment to each other? Is it centered around you? Is it centered around him? Is it centered around day-to-day duties? Is it centered around your child or children? What does your commitment look like? Are you doing it just because of those things? Are you doing it because you want to? Has your life become daunting? Is it a chore? Is it a task? Mine was. God, it was the worst. Every day it was the same gender role daunting experience. And I checked out. I checked out. What is your level of caring with your partner? Do you still actually care? Are you guys having sex? Where are you at with that? I know years pass, needs change, life happens. But unless you're at a point hormonally where you have completely shut down, or you're at a point in your life, if you're male, and you've noticed that you're having issues with libido, how often are you having sex? Do you want to have sex? but your partner doesn't? Have you explored why? Have you explored what's going on? Is it a health concern? Is it a desire concern? Have you both gotten to a point where you don't care and you don't care if you're having sex? That's where I was in my last relationship. I could not care less after a certain point. Days, weeks, years went by. Yes, years. Let's revisit setting those rules. A contract, if you will. When you entered into your relationship or into your marriage, you always have these arbitrary words, statements you throw out. If you're dating me, I'm going to forget. I don't hold on to anything. I apologize. However, if you're dating a Taurus, in a relationship with a Taurus, which was my experience, and a Cancer, I was married to a Cancer, they remember everything. It's like they have like a little Rolodex of drama. They're just waiting to like flip through the little Rolodex of what you said, as if you're not allowed to grow or change your mind or appreciate. God, do not recommend. But I happen to attract Taurus men lately. And based off of my last 10 years, no thank you. Because I've been getting triggered. Not that I have entered into a relationship or any of those things. I just have Taurus men in my vicinity that get on my nerves with their actions that trigger me and remind me of the last decade of my life. Anyways, you know, the contract that you enter into is also the communication, the commitment, the culture of your relationship or your marriage. Should it be concrete or should it be fluid? I think it should be fluid, and I think that you should loosely follow it because you should be able to grow and bend and move freely within your relationship. Also, how's the character of your partner or your husband or wife or spouse? Do you question their character at any point? That's a deep one, isn't it? For my last relationship, and hell, probably even my marriage, our value systems did not align. And although the two of them had very good character, some of the things and actions made me question their character. So when that happens, it's hard for you to circle back and wonder if any of it makes you happy. And you ask yourself, do you want to be in a monogamous relationship with this person based off all of those factors? Do you want to be able to commit to somebody based on all of those factors? Yes, if you're married, you had your vows, you stood before family and friends, professed your love for the person at that point. You grow in and out of love. But how do you stay in love? How do you make sure if this is what you want with monogamy? How do you make sure that it is worth it to you? How do you make sure it is genuine? How do you make sure it is attainable? Do you rely on someone else for your happiness? Do you rely on things to make you happy? Or do you make yourself happy? For a long time, I relied on someone else to make me happy because I thought that if I give myself up, that's what I'll get in return. Not when you're with someone who's selfish. Which ties into your question about monogamy. Do you feel like your partner is being monogamous? Have they given you reason to believe that they're not? Are you monogamous? Have you given your partner a reason to believe that you are not monogamous? What does monogamy look like to you? For me, it's me and him. Play with me if you want to. I mean, honestly, I'm at a point in my life where the last relationship, I told him on multiple occasions, if this does not work out between the two of us, I'm going to be alone. And I'm standing on that. And there was no issues with monogamy that I know of in my last relationship or my marriage. But there was communication breakdown, for sure, on both sides. And there were times in my marriage that I remember there was questionable actions, for sure, as far as communicating outside of the marriage. And in my last relationship, towards the end, when we were technically not together, but he still lived here, make that make sense. Communication was at an all-time low. And disrespect was at an all-time high. It just doesn't make sense, right? When you live with somebody, but you're not together, but you sleep in the same bed, but you're not together. You make life decisions every single day, but you're not together. So you're holding on to that belief of monogamy, but you're not together. You're holding on to that false narrative of what you're doing. Is it worth it? It's not. Do not recommend. Is it genuine? For me, it was not. It was transactional. For both of us, if we're being real. It was not healthy. It was toxic. And if you're at a point in your relationship where you're questioning monogamy, if you're questioning, is it worth it? If you're questioning, is what you have entered in and where you're currently at, is it genuine? You have to do process of elimination of how you got there. Is monogamy attainable? Well, has it been up until this point? Have you felt happy being in a monogamous relationship with your partner, your spouse, your husband, your wife? Takes it back to, are you being honest with each other? Are you being honest with yourself about what you want? The thing with my last relationship and I is we were loyal to a fault. I joke around and I say, we're not quitters. We're going to see this through. But seriously, when you have resolved yourself and you realize that you actually don't like a person, you can love them, but do you like them? Ask yourself that question. I know you love me, but do you like me? Ask yourself that. Do you love yourself? Do you like yourself? 6 months ago, I did not. But once he crossed that threshold and that door closed on the chapter of our life for the past 10 years, 10 decades, good God. Ugh. 10 years. I was actually at lunch yesterday with a very good friend of mine that had a front row view of the past 2 years. So the tail end of my relationship. He didn't know my spouse, partner, whatever you want to call him. He only knew me and obviously what I decided to share. But one thing about me, I'm going to tell it all. Good, bad, ugly. I'm a storyteller. And so we were just revisiting, the series of events that led up to the end of my last relationship. And he made a very good point about my time was wasted. And I believe that. And that goes back to your question of, is it worth it? Is it genuine? Do you feel like your time is being wasted currently in your relationship? In your monogamous relationship? Has it been worth it to you? Has it been genuine to you? There were times where I felt like it was worth it. But after a series of revelations, a series of events, a series of disrespect over and over and over, just blatant, it was not genuine. So I question the monogamy of my last relationship. And I'm not going to go into details because that's not necessary. I just know for me, it was not worth it. And I know for me that my monogamous relationship was not genuine. So for me, it was no longer attainable to stay in it. I was no longer happy. There was absolutely nothing that brought me happiness. So I had to exit. So I challenge you to really be honest with yourself about what you want. And asking the question, monogamy, is it worth it? Is it genuine? Is it attainable? Does it make people or couples happy? Have you been honest with each other about monogamy? Have you been honest with yourself about what the two of you want? Have you set rules in your monogamous relationship? And how often are you revisiting those rules? It is so important to open that communication and have those uncomfortable conversations. Don't forget 777 rule, how it works. I encourage you, if you want to be in a monogamous, committed relationship with your spouse, your partner, your husband, that every 7 days you go on a date. Every 7 weeks you go away for the night. And every 7 months, just the two of you head off on a romantic holiday, vacation, staycation, something. Turn towards each other, not away. And then you will realize if it is worth it. If you are able to commit to the 777 rule, you will know if it's worth it or not. You will definitely know if it's genuine. You will definitely know if it is attainable. And you will definitely know if you or if the two of you are happy together. Because if you can plan 7 dates every 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 months, 777, without a maybe or delayed response, you have something that is able to be salvaged. You have something that you can work towards. Again, set those rules and revisit them often. Be honest with each other and always be honest with yourself. SoloInSeattle podcast is always going to be about choosing self. It will always be about what you want. You are worth it. And if monogamy is your goal, then it is attainable. If you are seeking to be happy, you have to look into yourself and be happy with yourself first. I use that airplane analogy in one of my other podcasts. If for whatever reason those masks drop when you're on an airplane flight, they tell you in the beginning, put the mask on your face, then tend to those around you. Choose yourself first, because you cannot help someone else if you're not good. I will always stand behind that. I will always choose myself. And I had to learn that. Thank you for listening.